Vicente Almeida installed hidden cameras throughout the house to keep an eye on the new maid. He thought she would deceive him and take advantage of his trust, but what he discovered on the tapes changed his life forever. Vicente Almeida was a billionaire, the owner of an $800 million construction company. He had everything money could buy: a mansion in São Paulo, imported cars, bank accounts he could never spend. But there was one thing that money couldn't buy: trust. A year ago, he became a bitter, suspicious, paranoid man, and he had reasons. He fired 5 maids in 6 months. The first one stole jewelry. The second one tried to sell photos of his son to a gossip magazine. The third one, well, she posted on Instagram that she works for a famous billionaire and almost caused a security issue. He and his son, Pedro, remained. Before the story, subscribe to our channel. We give life to memories and voices that never took place, but which carry the wisdom of a lifetime. The baby, aged 1 year and 2 months, who could not yet walk, barely smiled, and whom Vicente, to be honest, did not know how to raise properly. He was good at signing contracts, but terrible at changing diapers until the agency sent Camilla. She came on Monday morning, simple, modest, with the smile of someone who had no bad intentions, or someone who was a good actress. "Good morning, Mr. Vicente." "Wow, what a beautiful house, and this baby is so cute." Vicente looked at her suspiciously. No one was so friendly just like that, without some ulterior motive. "You'll start with the kitchen, then the living room. Don't touch my things in the office. Don't pick up the boy without my permission. Understand?" "I understand, sir," she replied, still smiling. He went into his office to work, but he couldn't concentrate because he heard his son laugh for the first time in months. He walked up to the living room door and peeked in. Camilla was mopping the floor. "Let's get a drink." Butterfly was in the kitchen making chocolate for his godmother, and Pedros, sitting in the playpen, was clapping his hands and laughing. This delicious childish laughter, which Vicente no longer remembered what it sounded like, touched him somehow. But it wasn't joy, it was fear. Why does my son become attached to her so quickly? What is her interest in this? That same day, he called the security company. "I want hidden cameras, living room, kitchen, baby's bedroom, hallways, everywhere. I want to see her every move." "Sir, is this legal?" The operator hesitated. "This is my home, my son, my decision. Install it quickly." During the first week, Vicente followed Camilla like a detective. I saw everything through the phone. She cleaned the house while drinking, talked to Pedro as if he understood her, taught him to clap his hands, wave his hand, try to stand on his feet. Nothing suspicious, nothing stolen. No hidden photos. But there was something strange. On Thursday, while she was cleaning her office, she found an old family photo of him on the shelf. Vicente's parent. He's a kid, all together at Christmas in the 90s. She took the photograph, looked at it tenderly, and whispered to herself, not knowing that she was being recorded, "You have the same look as him, and the same kind character." Vicente went cold. He has it. He has it. Whose? At his father's. How so? She knew his father. He continued to watch the tapes obsessively, and then the bomb came. On Friday afternoon, while she was bathing Pedro, she spoke softly. "Your mother was beautiful. You know Pedrinho? And your grandfather? Your grandfather was the most generous man I knew. You will grow up with his heart, Grandpa." She was talking about Father Vicente. He turned the house upside down, looking for something. Her documents, identity card, certificate of residence, any clue. And he found in her bag, yes, he rummaged, he knew it was wrong, an old silver locket. When he opened it, he almost fell. Inside was a photograph of his father hugging a woman he didn't know. Who is this woman, and why the hell does Camille have a photo of my father? It was on Tuesday. Vicente was in his office pretending to work, but was actually watching the camera through his phone. Camilla pulled Pedro to his feet, holding his hands. "Come on, champion, you can do it." Let go of Camilla's hand and go. She took 2 steps back, crouched, opened her arms, and Pedro, Vicente's son, took 5 unsteady steps. 5 steps until he fell into her arms, laughing. Camilla hugged him, crying with joy. "You did it. You walked, my love." What pride. Vicente was also crying alone in the office. But it wasn't just pride. It was pain, because his son's first steps were towards her, not towards him. Because his son smiled at the maid more than at his own father, and because deep down he felt that she deserved this moment more than he did. That night he decided to confront her. The truth he didn't expect. Vicente called Camilla into the office after Pedro fell asleep. "Sit down." She sat down. The smile disappeared when she saw his serious face. "Camilla, I'll be straightforward. Who are you? How can you talk about my father as if you know him? You have a locket with his picture on it, and you talk to my son about his mother, about his grandfather, as if you were part of that family. So I ask again, who are you?" She turned pale. "You were going through my things. This is my home, and the cameras you were recording me. This is my home too." She took a deep breath, her eyes filling with tears. "I didn't come here to deceive you, Vicente." It was the first time she called him by his name. "Lordless, then why did you come?" She stood up and went to the window. "I looked at the dark garden because I made a promise, and I'm not one to break promises. My mother's name was Teresa Santos," Camilla began, her voice trembling. "She worked in this house for 5 years as a cleaner when I was a child. I was about 8 to 9 years old. Vicente had a vague memory of the short, quiet woman who cleaned his parents' house. My father died in a work accident. My mother was left alone with 3 children. No money, no support, nothing. She got a job here, and that was our salvation." Camilla wiped away her tears. "Your father, Joachim, was unlike any other employer she had. He asked if she had had lunch, paid more than agreed. For Christmas, I gave food packages and gifts to my brothers." Vicente swallowed. His father was just like that, too generous. "My mother always said, 'One day my mother got sick here, with heart problems. Your father not only paid for the hospital, but also guaranteed that the best doctor would operate on her. He saved her life, Vicente." She took the locket from around her neck and gave it to him. "Teresa, you will survive. And when you survive, I want you to remember that there are still good people in the world." Inside, there's a photo of him with my mother. On the last day she worked there before the operation, Vicente opened the medallion again. Now it made sense. My mother kept this until she died 3 years ago. She made me promise that if I ever could, I would repay his kindness somehow. But my father died too. Vicente said 4 years ago. "I know, so I couldn't pay him back directly." She turned to him. "Then a year ago, I was working as a paramedic at a clinic in Miami, and your wife, Susanna, was hospitalized there. Complication about natures." Vicente's heart began to beat faster. "I was one of the auxiliary nurses on shift. She was very ill, Vicente, very serious bleeding. Before they took her into emergency surgery, she squeezed my hand and said, 'If I don't come back, someone has to take care of my baby. Please.'" Camilla was crying. Now I looked at her medical records, saw the name Almeida, asked if she was related to Joaquin Almeida. She said yes, that she was married to his son. At that moment, I knew it was a sign. She looked into his eyes. I promised her I would take care of her, but she didn't survive. Died on the operating table. Silence. I thought for a month if I should look for you. I was afraid you would think I was crazy, selfish, until I lost my job at the clinic. I saw an ad for a vacancy here, found out the address because my mother always talked about it, and I thought, now or never. She wiped her face. I didn't come to find you deceive. I came to fulfill 2 promises. The one I made to my mother, to repay your father's kindness, and the one I gave to Susanna, to take care of Pedro. Vicente was silent for a full minute. Then he stood up, went to the safe, and pulled out an old wooden box. Inside were his father's letters. He searched and found them. A letter from his father, written 6 months before his death, addressed to him, Vicente. If you're reading this, it means I'm gone. I want you to know that I left a guaranteed care fund for the family of Teresa, our old cleaning lady. She was a woman of honor. If her children ever need anything, help them. It's the least we can do for someone who is faithful. With love, his father. He showed the letter to Camilla. She read it and burst into tears. I'm an idiot, Vicente said. You came here to fulfill a promise, and I treated you like a criminal. I installed cameras, searched your things, suspected your every move. Forgive me. She shook her head. You were simply protecting your son. I have nothing to forgive. The next day, Vicente removed all the cameras and called Camilla into the office again. I want to fulfill my father's promise. And more than that, I want you to stay here not as a servant, but as part of the family. Pedro needs you, and I need you too. She covered her mouth, touched. I will increase your salary 5-fold. You will have the best room, a corporate credit card, health insurance, everything. But most importantly, you will be Pedro's aunt, the person he can always count on. Vicente, I don't know what to say. Say you agree? She laughed through her tears. I agree. 6 months later. The Almeida mansion is now completely different. There is laughter, music, life. Vicente has reduced his working hours. He learned to play with cars, make airplanes out of food, bathe son without getting completely wet. Pedro is almost 2 years old. He runs around the house calling for Aunt Camilla. She stays there, not mopping the floors, but being the best aunt a child could have. The silver medallion now hangs in a frame in the living room next to a photo of Joachim, Teresa, Susanna, and all the history that connected these families. Proof that trust can't be bought, kindness is unforgettable, and promises made from the heart are passed down from generation to generation. Listen, you realize that being a billionaire means nothing if you don't have anyone you can trust, and that sometimes the most valuable people in our lives come disguised as maids, bearing medallions and fulfilled promises. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel. Write in the comments what city you're from, and whether you've ever trusted someone incorrectly and then realized you were wrong. Share this with those who need to believe that there are still good people in the world.